Redditors who have tried LSD, what was your most profound realization? In college, go to every class, went from academic probation to dean's list, for the remainder of my degree. Seems like a simple thing, but the authority behind the revelation is what mattered. Damn, LSD had the opposite effect on me. That memories are more deeply ingrained in our minds than we will ever understand. The first time I did acid was with my older brothers. We got caught in a beautiful wormhole of childhood memories that none of us had thought about, or even recalled in years. Things just are. That we are all connected together as humans in a communal system, held together by the framework established by social expectation and a desire to achieve something greater. Basically, we live in a society. I thought about how silly it was that I live in a house and went to school and go to work just because people told me to. I thought, why don't I just go live in the woods? That would be fun. Then the acid started to wear off and I was really hungry and had to order food, which made me realize why I have to go to work. I remember trying to count ducks in a pond. When I couldn't figure the exact amount, purple microdots and a pitch black night, my friend told me, who the fuck cares? Oh my god. It was the most amazing realization I ever had. I've applied the attitude who the fuck cares to everything ever since. My dad committed a murder-suicide when I was little, and LSD made me realize he was actually a human being with feelings and not some monster in my imagination. It was the first time I realized I had a father. It was a hard trip, that's for sure. I feel like it totally changed my relationship with food, like I see it as fuel rather than sin and virtue now, and that has stuck years later, and I'm down 30 pounds since then despite never dieting. Probably because everyone else I was tripping with went skinny dipping while I stayed in the van because I was too fat to climb the fence. My senior year of college I was doing LSD fairly frequently. My housemates decided to trip during the day while I decided to drink. I took a nap in the afternoon, woke up, and decided, oh, this is the perfect time to trip sack, and so I did. I peaked late that evening and spent about 6 hours on our swing on our back porch. I brought my guitar with me to make music. There was an empty Hurricane 40 that someone had left on the side table. I spent quite a long time watching a hornet that had fallen and trying to fly out. Every unsuccessful attempt ended up with the hornet falling back into the residual alcoholic liquid. And slowly it became uncoordinated. This is over several hours that I am just playing the soundtrack to this dying insect. I dropped out of school weeks later. Other things influenced my decision to leave, but that experience certainly had an impact. I wouldn't trade that experience for anything. That there isn't always a meaning, and sometimes it's just fun to experience. Every trip isn't some vision quest where you rediscover yourself and tap into vibrations of the universe or some such thing. People never remember small good things. At the end of the day, people will be like, man, I had such a bad day. Not a single good thing happened. But chances are a bunch of small good things happened. Like those little conversations you have in hallways and on sidewalks. Just the hey, how are you? Good. Haven't seen you in a while, how are you? Can't complain. The little conversations like that. Not a single part of that conversation was negative, but you forget about it the second it ends. Small stuff like that gets forgotten. That all matter is merely energy condensed to a slow vibration. I watched Free Solo on acid a couple weeks ago. The whole time I was so bummed out. I was thinking, damn, what am I doing with my life? Look at what this guy did. And then when I realized Alex Honnold was the only person to ever do anything remotely close to free soloing LCAP, I was relieved. And then I ate some hummus. That I have hands. Yes. This. Hands are weird AF, dude. Sometimes I just look at them and realize how similar to a chimp's hands or a gorilla's hands they really are. Then I realize that all humans are basically just really smart, dumb apes trying to do their best to make sense of the world. That everything that could happen has already happened, and that the passage of time is a man-made concept that allows us to process reality in a fashion that we can more easily comprehend. I was obviously tripping balls. That same night I dropped the cigarette in my lap, and it took so long for me to pick it up the chair caught on fire. On a cosmic scale, we are all insignificant. But on a microscopic scale, we are basically gods. I became incredibly depressed when I had a vision of the solar system fast forward until all the planets got too close to the sun and burned to dust. No evidence we were ever here. Everything you, me, our ancestors and microbial precursors struggled so hard to achieve. Just gone. Nothing matters. Then, a simple perspective shifted and I realized, so in reality, the only thing I truly have is right now. And I'm squandering it in sadness. Don't squander your now in sadness if you can avoid it. Allow yourself to feel and express, and move on. Smile. Madonna is mean. I realized that every single one of us came from the same ancestor. That we are all the same life form. I also realized that all of my organs touch, and it hurt a little. How preposterous all our societal edifices are. LSD deconstructs high-level concepts and behaviors into their constituent parts. It allows you to observe common things without any of the usual pretense or context in all of their unadulterated absurdity. As an example, it might occur to you while tripping that a software engineer is someone whose purpose is to concoct special arrangements of silicon atoms so that she has enough special pieces of paper to sleep in her preferred brick box. It helped me stop taking everything so seriously. Loudly jumping on a snow-covered trampoline at 1 a.m. in the middle of winter is a good way to piss off your neighbors and inform them you probably do drugs. While tripping, I once wrote down acid doesn't have any answers, it's just there to remind you that the world is beautiful. Now, is that profound shit, or hippy-dippy acid babble nonsense? It's all okay. You may have made mistakes, but those mistakes just become part of the tapestry of the past. The moment is everything. And every moment you have choices. Every moment is a new opportunity to try a new choice, a new way to be. Every moment you choose who you are now, and you are not restricted by any of the selves you once were. There's no need to hate your current self because of past selves. Learn if you must, but there's no need to hate. I'm not sure if I'm coming back from this one. That I was not one person, but in fact 3 smaller people stacked on top of each other in a long coat, like you see in cartoons sometimes, and that in order to get anything done all 3 of us would have to work together in near-perfect harmony. Vincent Adultman? Is that you? For more videos like this, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Don't forget to check out our other videos and thanks for watching. Also don't forget to subscribe to PewDiePie.